NBA today. There are 14 days remaining in the regular season. Yes, just 2 weeks until the NBA playoffs. And here's what we know. So far, the Thunder, the Spurs, the Pistons, and Celtics have clinched their playoff spots. Then we know the next group of teams that'll be part of the postseason. And if your team is in that last column there, well, we're looking at ping pong balls. Sunday saw a matchup between two of the top 6 teams in the league when the Knicks traveled to take on Shea and the Thunder. Let's get into that. Shea and company getting ready to take on the Knicks early in the first. SGA
have to get by you.
Look at that move. Oh. Under a minute left here in the first. Snaking through the defense, gets his own board.
It's like playing with your little brother. Just the way he approaches the game. So slow, so slow.
Oh,
Yes.
seen it all.
And then J-Dub gets in the act.
He was animated, yes.
Yeah. It's good for him to start getting his rhythm back.
He was really animated. I like that.
Now Jalen Brunson on the reload here for 3. Early in the third, J-Dub gets the loose ball, and watch this.
I have to get by you.
Oh, that's bad. That's nuts.
My hamstring.
He's not even that.
Read the high hand.
He's laughing. He's fast, but he's not. If we saw that from De'Aaron Fox, you would understand.
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful move there by Brunson on Dort. The next play, here comes SGA in clutch time. Count up the points here from the elbow.
It's called SGA time. It's not called clutch time.
Okay.
It's called SGA time.
I'm with you, butter.
Here's Shea.
I have to get by you.
Into the paint, left-hand layup. Following that, steps into a 3.
Listen here, man.
Okay.
That's 7 points, but wait, he's not done yet.
Why we get
Watch this pass.
Basketball.
To Chet, finishes it off. After the game, Mike Brown not happy with the officiating.
It was a hard-fought ball game. The thing that I was most disappointed in was the amount of energy that we expended on the officials. They shot 38 free throws. Were all of them legit? I don't know. I know some of them were because we reached. And you can't reach versus this team because the team does a fantastic job starting with SGA and getting the officials to think that a foul has occurred. Their gamesmanship is off the charts.
So Mike Brown picked up his second technical this season. Both have been against the Thunder, by the way. SGA is the reigning league MVP and angling for another, but what's really stood out for him this year is clutch time, or as RJ said, Shea time. SGA time he's been the king of the fourth quarter here, leading the league in clutch scoring, and has the Thunder on the brink of another 60-win season. All right, welcome in here to the studio. I'm in for Malika Andrews. I'm George Sedano, alongside a couple of champions here, Richard Jefferson, Iman Shumpert, and, of course, Kendrick Perkins. So, Perk, I got to ask you this, all right? Let's start here with the Knicks. And their defense couldn't slow down SGA, and they scored only 30 points in the paint. How concerned are you about New York right now? And he's not here. So how concerned
honestly,
are you?
I'm more concerned with Big Perk. I'm going to be really, really honest. If we're talking about, I'm concerned about the Knicks because, one, when you look at the way that Karl-Anthony Towns is playing, he had a great stretch. The last 2 losses that they had, I think it was 15, 17 points. I'm not concerned about a loss at Oklahoma City on the road against the defending champs. They're in the game. Their record above 500 teams, that's what you're more concerned about. It's great that you can handle the team that you're supposed to, but we judge you the same way you should judge yourself. And in that moment, if you're not beating any of the teams that are considered on your caliber, that's where it's concerning. But are they fine? Is there more time for them to continue to improve? Yes.
Yeah, I see a lot of room for improvement as well.
Sure.
I just expected them to be further along at this point of the season, especially when you're saying the teams above 500. When you have a time like this where you can get a win on the road against the SGA and the Thunder, somebody that we could really add to the catalog and make everybody feel confident, I feel like they let something slip away, and I feel like they have to look at their bench and say, why are we not getting any production out of that?
And here's the thing. When your owner, Perk, goes on sports radio and says that the goal is to absolutely get to the finals this year after getting to the conference finals, there's some real pressure on this team to beat good teams.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how much time do they need or do they have time to improve. We're less than 10 games left before the real stuff kick off in the postseason, and I'm looking at this Knicks squad, and I got real legit concerns about them. They could possibly be a first-round exit. They have identity crisis. I'm watching a team full of veterans that just went to the conference finals last year, not be stars in their role and not know their identity on both sides of the floor. In my opinion, they play agenda basketball offensively. My turn, your turn, let me search for my shot, let me get my opportunity. It's too many times that I'm watching a Mikal Bridges or a Josh Hart dribble the ball up and initiate the offense. Defensively, we don't know who they are. They're supposed to have two of the best two-way players in the game right now. We're not on television, or we're not seeing that from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. And when I look at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, that's 6 through 8, 6, 7, 8, they could possibly see Philadelphia. They could possibly look at Philadelphia. And we know how Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Paul George have been looking.
All right, interesting there for sure. Now, Imam, what do you think about the Thunder? How do they continue to impress you?
They're impressing me by doing the same thing over and over, and everybody else is sick of seeing it. They are doing the exact same thing they were doing when the season kicked off. We're going to defend for 48 minutes. We're going to make sure that you have to use your bench. And then at the end of the game, we're going to say, hey, here you go, SGA, take us home, if we need that. He didn't have to play a lot of fourth quarters. But when you look at that it's the same DNA, it's the same game plan every time. They make you adjust to them. They are not adjusting to you. They take the offense to you. They got other guys coming back, finally getting healthy. I think people are just bored of seeing winning done. The way they're doing it, because they're doing it the same way over and over. It's the same thing we watched when we were watching Boston play.
Boston, but even go back in time, you watch San Antonio.
Yeah.
For 20 years, they did the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And they were considered boring.
And they were considered boring.
Yeah.
And it was consistent. And it was Tim Duncan. And it was, guys that stayed within the framework. Everyone started in their roles. Manu, he was one of the best players in the world. He might start. He might come off the bench. You don't know. It's basically whatever they were doing. So when I look at boring is great. Don't ever get tired of winning. They have a formula, and even when you see guys out, they have established such an outstanding bench that these guys are plug and play ready, and it's just such a seamless transition when they're all healthy.
All right, next up, Tatum takeover was on full display in the Buzz City. Here's how he stung the Hornets yesterday.
This is ridiculous.
You're going to see a theme here. Early in the first quarter, no Jaylen Brown. Tatum goes to work into the paint.
He's back.
Yep.
He's back.
A little rhythm.
But here comes
A little confident.
a barrage of threes.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
That's one. Hold on. We're not done yet.
Get the looking down at the
When you
hands.
start hearing that saxophone play.
Oh, Lord.
When you start hearing that saxophone
He
play.
start looking, he don't know which hand to do it
You
with.
left, right?
Oh.
You notice how you defenders.
You notice how all of them going in the same way. Let's get used to the splash.
Yeah.
Youngest Celtics player to score 14,000. Now in the post, he goes to work on the fadeaway.
That's when you know you're starting to feel good.
Yeah, like even
Talking
he's
to
shaking
the
his head.
crowd.
It's like, oh, yeah, I didn't have that before I left.
Bullies his way into the paint there.
That's what I said. He just has to keep trusting himself, man. I think he's getting that confidence. He's going to get an extra little kick out of his legs coming in the postseason. This is going to be good to watch.
A contested three on Bridges. Here's Missoula after the game.
32 fouls.
He did a good job just getting to the spot that he wanted. Saw a bunch of different coverages tonight. He was able to kind of diagnose those. He played against drop, played against switching, played against the double team. I thought he made the right play when it was necessary. Tonight, only 5 rebounds, so we got to get better at that. But I thought he did a great job, on the offensive end, just diagnosing the different coverages and making the play that was necessary.
You gotta love him.
You guys love Joe Missoula.
Oh, yeah, he's like 32-8. He's like, he had 5 rebounds, so we're going to have to improve on that. Joe, I love you, bro. I love you.
Tatum has been slowly working his way into form after returning from the torn Achilles just 10 months ago. Sunday was his best effort yet, and starting to see him play with that familiar bounce with a season-high 32. And then there was Jaylen Brown tweeting this, 50 wins in a gap year.
Perspective.
Hey.
So that's their 5th straight 50-win season, Perk, including the last 4 under Joe Missoula. So what's the message the Celtics are sending here?
Well, that game right there was the biggest message sent across the league this past weekend, was that, hey, we're here and we're the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. No Derek White, no Jaylen Brown, going against a tough Hornets team on their home floor, and you go in there, not only did JT have that 32-piece wing dinner all flats, but Peyton Pritchard, another champion, he had 25-plus points, and then you hold them to under 99 points, under 100 points. See, here's the thing. The reality is we always praise their offense in the Joe Mazzulla system, but this is a top 5 defensive team in the NBA with the most championship experience in the Eastern Conference. So when I see them go in there and get a win like they did without 2 of their best defensive players in Jaylen Brown and Derek White, it sends a message to the rest of the league, the strongest message, that we here and we're standing on business. While all the other teams in the East are trying to figure it out, while they're trying to get healthy, no, we're healthy, and our guy Jason Tatum has his legs back, and we ready to go to war.
RJ?
Look, I'm going to go to Joe Mazzulla, and I'm going to look at all the good, and I'm going to find the 5 rebounds, and I want more. I'm not going to say that the Celtics, as good as the Celtics have been, I'm not going to say a win over a Charlotte team that has no playoff players, that has no guys that have really been through that fight. I'm not going to say this was a message, especially over the entire weekend. I look at what OKC did with the Knicks coming in again. So I would look at, if we're looking at games that had messages, I appreciate it. The Celtics don't get to beat Charlotte and say, see, we're here right now.
Hold on, RJ. Hold on.
That's why Charlotte is good.
RJ, listen. If the bus go by, I'm standing on the corner and I miss it, just let me know. Because I missed that part where Charlotte is not to be looked at like they're on a hot streak 1.
Yes.
They're on a hot streak 1. But when you can deal with the guard play of a Charlotte, that's what Perk's talking about, where you say defensively they're not getting enough credit, but they're doing it. I say it's a statement win because the MVP is not there. We don't talk about it enough.
One of the MVP.
I get it. I'm saying they're MVP.
Agreed.
I'm not. I think the MVP was over there dancing on the Knicks. But I didn't like to watch it, but it was happening. You see what I'm saying?
No, but the part that I'm trying to say is this. Charlotte is a very good team. But that is not a message statement for the Boston Celtics that have had 5 50-win seasons, won a championship, won a finals. Beating Charlotte is not the we're here. I know you're talking about defensive.
And
that's not a barometer, is what you're saying.
That's what Thank you. Thank you for interpreting.
Derek White and Jaylen Brown.
Yes. Look at
and a recovering Tatum.
Yeah,
Jason
He's
Tatum
recovering.
He's still recovering. Forget Perk.
Let Perk get in there.
Okay.
You see him back now with the hands on the hips, man. He just got back.
I'm saying it was to me it was the strongest message of the weekend.
Yeah.
That was
I agree
a
with you,
statement
Perk.
I
win.
thought OKC's against the Knicks was the strongest.
God, I wish both of you were in here.
A struggling Knicks team that haven't beat a team over 500
You're not used to
since
it
the
for
month
Boston?
of February.
No.
Perk, can we teleport you in here
Brown.
to be in here with RJ?
Not without Jaylen
Brown.
Brown.
They did it without Kyrie.
All right, we got to go. 27. The Sun will play one final season in Connecticut before relocating in 2027. Perk, what's your reaction to the WNBA heading back to Houston? I can just see you nodding, so go ahead.
Smiling, bro.
You know what? Because y'all don't understand, the city has been missing something down here in H-Town, and that's been the Comets. Bring them back. Bun B, get the Trill Burgers ready. Paul Wall, Lil Kiki, Slim Thug, get the anthem ready. Y'all don't understand what Cynthia Cooper, with Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson, what they meant to the city, how fired up they had the summertime, how fired up and lit the city was. Let me explain something to you. This right here is just as big as the Rockets, and I'm serious as a heart attack when I sit up here and say this. This city has been wanting this back. We're finally getting it, and the city is going to be on fire, damn it. The Houston Comets coming back to the H-Town.
Okay, I love it. I can't wait to watch, Perk, for sure. We're about a year or so away. So, all right, let's go coast to coast now and get you caught up in the action from around the league this weekend. We'll stay in Houston. The Rockets recorded their largest win of the season against the Pelicans behind 36 points from Alperen Şengün. Şengün has scored at least 30 in 3 of his last 4 games. What have you liked about his recent play?
The Goonie, he's just mixing it up, man. I think that he's got so much in his bag, but He's letting the game come to him. You're starting to see Sengun sink into, a different vibe. And I think he's actually starting to give us a little bit more effort on defense. Perk, he might have heard you when you was talking a little bit too much.
He had that big block in Minnesota. He saved the game. They still lost, though, eventually. Speaking of losing, the Bucks fans, look away. Milwaukee's disappointing season got worse this weekend. They were eliminated from playoff contention, snapping their streak of 9 consecutive postseason appearances. Richard, has Giannis played his last game for the Bucks?
We're going to find out. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea.
Wait, you're not Shams?
I'm not. Shams knows, y'all. Why are you asking me a Shams question? That's what I'm saying. But this is what I'd say. Regardless, I do believe if you have Giannis, you have a chance. But if Giannis has played his last game, he should have a statue out there when he retires.
I'm with you. And I'm waiting for Shams to tell us because he's going to know before everyone. Yeah. Shifting to Toronto, the Raptors put a Jurassic beatdown on the Magic. They went on a 31-point run between the first and second quarters and ended up winning by 52 points. Perk, how does this happen?
Well, one team understood the assignment, and that was the Toronto Raptors. They're trying to stay out of the play-in tournament. They approach this game like it was the postseason, and they know that once they get you and the energy gets to flowing in that arena, it's hard to be stopped, especially led by Scotty Barnes.
Yes, sir. All right, next we head to Denver. Shorthanded Warriors ran into Joker, Jamal Murray, and the surging Nuggets. Gold State played well from the start. Halfway through the second quarter, Warriors up 7. Porzingis steps into that 3.
He was shooting it. I ain't gonna lie.
Here comes Pajemski from the corner.
I like that. I need that.
But here come the Nuggets rallying.
Here they come. Here they come.
Watch Tim Hardaway Jr. ultimately here wide open.
Layup.
4-point play opportunity.
It's a layup.
Come on, Gee, what you doing?
Now the Joker goes to work.
Oh, well. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
I work on that.
I'm bigger than you.
Yep. 25, 15, and 8 for the Joker. And then watch this play. You've seen this a million times. A little dribble handoff to Jamal Murray. That's the dagger.
Layup. Can't go up.
Weren't they just up 10?
They were.
Rough.
Here's Caitlin Clark on Jokic
There's
after
not
the
many
game.
people that average a triple-double, let alone you're lucky enough to get maybe a couple of those in a season. He's done it all year long in back-to-back years. So it's pretty incredible, and honestly, he's probably my favorite player to watch, and I think he's the best player in the world.
We have the same agent. That's why she said it.
All right, so Denver has won 6 straight overall, 7 straight at home, and they're now only a game back of the Lakers for the 3rd seed in the West. So, Perk, are we sleeping on Denver?
No, we're not sleeping. I mean, the bar is set. They have one of the best players in the world. It's no different than when LeBron was leading the Cavs or earlier in his career when he first got to the Lakers. Like, it's either they're legit title contenders or they're not. And if you're asking me, do I believe this team is going to come out of the Western Conference? No, I don't. I'm not impressed like most over this 6-game win streak because a lot of these teams, majority of these teams, are below 500, games that you're supposed to win. Now, they're finally getting healthy, but I still got concerns about them for us on the defense, on perimeter defensively, and rim protection.
But they can win a championship this year. Last year, they took OKC 2-7. They took OKC. Aaron Gordon did everything he could in that 7th game to keep them alive. But if you can take OKC to 7. Now, this year, if you go look at their starters, the amount of injuries that Aaron Gordon has missed, Peyton Watson has missed, Jamal Murray, even Jokic missing that stretch. When those boys are healthy and their bench is deeper, right? They added Valanciunas. They have talent on their bench. Brought in Bruce Brown. So you add these guys. Now, if they can all get healthy, that's where even the last 10, 12, 5 games going into the postseason is a big deal. So I believe that this team can win a championship. They are the San Antonio. They got the quiet superstar. He hates it when I do this. They're the quiet superstar, and they just don't get a lot of attention.
Go ahead,
They don't get as much attention.
Again, we're not sleeping on the Denver Nuggets. We're not sleeping on the Denver Nuggets at all. The Denver Nuggets, like Perk said, are not winning this year. And it's okay to say that. Like, it's okay to say that, right?
You're not trying to convince me.
I'm not trying to convince you. I just feel like you was being nice about it.
I am being nice about it. I do believe that if you told me this team was in the conference finals or if this team beat OKC or San Antonio in the second round.
Okay, so they're getting a cookie for it.
No, I'm just saying.
Look, I think ultimately, if the best player in the world, and we would say he's arguably one, is in the finals, I don't think that we'd be hugely surprised by that.
No. We wouldn't be. We would be surprised.
Okay,
if they come
fair
out
enough.
of the West. We would totally be surprised.
Victor Wembanyama is rightfully nicknamed the Alien, and he's been a destroyer of worlds this season, leading the league in blocks for a third straight year. But he routinely fills up the box score with over 24 points and 11 boards a night as well. With that level of brilliance, Victor has helped lead the Spurs to a dominant run. Since February 1st, San Antonio's won 24 of 26 games, which is the best mark in the league during that span. It's also tied for the best 26-game stretch in franchise history, which says a lot. And the Spurs have taken that show on the road in a big way. San Antonio's won 4 straight road games by at least 25 points. They are the first team in league history with a streak like that. And the Bucks were the latest victims on Saturday. So Wemby and company. Let's start with this one. Some two-man action. Champagny finds Wemby. Hey! And Castle with the finish.
Honestly, best passing big man San Antonio's ever had. What?
Here goes Wemby. Muscling one up off the glass.
You okay, Joe?
A few minutes later, Castle in attack mode.
Oh, I'm so much stronger
I'm
than you.
bigger than you.
He's so tough, man, that kid.
Gotta get that baby out the street.
Get that baby out the street. Who baby is that?
Castle finds Wemby here.
Floater.
Less than a minute later, Ryan Rollins drives, and Victor rejects it.
Very true.
They call goaltending?
Keeps the ball alive.
He keeps it in play.
All the time.
That's the old Bill Russell. Don't block it out of bounds.
Like,
Keep it
you
in
can't
play.
put it above the square.
And here in
Where
the
do you
fourth.
put it?
Yikes.
Above the backboard.
Look out.
You can't use the backboard. That gives him too much time.
All right, with the win, the Spurs have clinched a top 2 spot in the West.
There you go.
And it's their first time since 2017. That year is key for the Spurs, as it was the last time they won a playoff series, making it all the way to the conference final. From last year's 34-win season to a 2 seed in the West now, Perk, what makes them legit title contenders, in your opinion?
What don't make them legit title contenders? Hey, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all draw up a game plan to stop Wemby offensively?
Not me.
I'll wait, because you can't. It's not one. Can you do me a favor and ask me about Stephon Castle and why he's not considered Shump? You know this, one of the best two-way players in the game.
Oh, no, he definitely
how he's
considered it.
elevated his game over the course of the season for us being a facilitator for this squad, averaging the career high in assists. Can y'all explain to me the word sacrifice that's going through that damn locker room right now, something that the Knicks can't even do?
Relax.
They don't care who gets to shine every single night. It could be Keldon Johnson. It could be the kid Vassell. It could be any one of those guys tonight, and they don't care. From De'Aaron Fox to Dylan Harper, they play high-level basketball on both ends of the floor, well coached, and they have old souls. They're not young. They have old souls. They want to win now, and they're legit title contenders. They check all the boxes.
Yeah, I really like them. I like that they have a young backcourt, but they have a backcourt that competes defensively. I love how they get up and down. A lot of their points and a lot of the things they do. My biggest takeaway is everything's in transition. Everything is free flow. Everything is fun. They always look like it's a high-level activity. Guys getting deflections, other guys shooting the gaps and making everything easy to where you can feel efficient out there and feel like, I got the confidence to take this shot. I got the confidence and the wiggle room in this game to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But defensively, when you talk about how many different guards they can match up with in the playoffs, it's scary. So I get it. I get it. They're not experienced, RJ. I get it. But they haven't experienced, people haven't experienced this level of defense from these athletic guards.
The only thing I'm saying is I believe in them.
You do.
I just haven't seen it yet.
Fair.
And this is their first opportunity to show it. The last team to not make the postseason and then go on to win a championship the next year is the Golden State Warriors. With Steph and Clay came back, Draymond Green. But it was easy because I just wanted to tell you who it was.
I know, but I
just wanted to just refresh you.
All right.
They had experience. They had done it before.
Yes.
They'd done it multiple times before.
Right.
So now we're going to say a team that is uber talented.
You're talking about the 2022 Warriors, just for people's clarification.
They didn't make the postseason
Correct.
and then won a championship.
Correct.
So they were an experienced group
that
had a bunch of injuries, came back the next year. This team is still new. So I'm looking forward to how they do it. You talked about being a free-flowing, in transition team. They do so much stuff. Well, we know this. In that postseason, the game is going to slow down. You're going to have your key shots. That's the one thing for me. The next growth for Wemby is, can he come up with that Dirk shot? The Jokic on the elbow.
I thought he showed it.
The Luka going left. There are certain things that when you put great players, all right, it's winning time. We know what Shea's going to do in winning time in the postseason. We know what Jokic is going to do, Steph. We know what their formula is, and then it's about execution and trying to stop it. Wemby, you just don't know what it is yet.
We don't know what it is, but we're waiting to find out.
That's the part I'm excited about.
We're excited about it, but I don't want it to be talked about as if we don't realize, like, hey, G, he just got to get in the playoffs so we know at the end of this who we walking into the timeout like.
Agreed.
Did you have a signature move at 22?
I just dunked. That was it. Ran as fast as I could. Catch it from J. Kidd.
Burke?
Hey, listen, I can understand, Richard, your concerns from an offensive end, but when you have something like that we've never seen before defensively, see, he erases so many mistakes. Damn it, if I was on the Spurs, I would be a great perimeter defender because
Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
No, but hold on, but Richard, hear me out though. When he unlocks for guys on the perimeter, he allows them to apply pressure. He allows them to be more aggressive because it's his ability to be able to cover ground, cover space, and protect that damn basket at the highest level in the NBA. So the one thing I'm not concerned about, their defense is going to be there. All they got to continue to do is be more experienced offensively. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you guys this. The concern that I would have with the Spurs, beyond inexperience, is their three-point shooting can be shaky. And in a playoff series, we know that could be a big part of the equation here.
Without a doubt. Only people I see a problem with it is if you got to run into the OKC Thunder. That's the only time I see the problem happening. I think that these two are going to meet. I think we'll finally get to test it out. I do think the Spurs are going to fall short because, like I keep telling people, we are so sick of seeing – I know, Perk, you by yourself. You by yourself,
San Antonio has beat them a bunch of times. Why is it that you don't think that they could get it done in the postseason? Is it because...
I didn't say they can't get it done. They can't get it done against OKC.
But they've beat them so many times. What is it that they are possibly missing, Sho? What is it that they're possibly...
It's a guy over there that he wear like 6 to 8 braids, and he got 4 of the trophies, 4 of them.
Are you saying there's experience that you...
I'm saying there's a bench. It's not even the experience. It's the bench. It's the bench. It's the defense.
I think San Antonio can win a championship. I think
they
OKC can.
They
I
can.
think Denver can.
It's just I think that's where it runs a little short.
Why is Perkins? Well, go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is this. Not only did we just remind the world that they dominated OKC in this regular season, Victor said it at the podium last week with his chest side.
He did.
That's true, Perk.
Yeah.
He did.
Do something about it.
But you don't think?
We'll see in a couple. Today, Big Three Elite 8 edition. Let's start with Yaxel Lendenborg.
He a big boy.
Yeah, scored 27.
I'm bigger than you.
Joined Glenn Rice and Juwan Howard as only Michigan players in the last 60 years with consecutive 25-point games in the tourney as they crushed Tennessee in the Elite 8. Saturday night, Keaton Wagler dropped 25 points on Iowa, tying the most points by a Big Ten freshman in the Elite 8. Or later.
Nice.
Since Greg Oden did it back in 2007.
Could you imagine if the Fighting Illini recruited you?
First time in Final Four, by the way. Since 2005.
But I can see you rooting for him, though. Hey, shout out my Arizona boy.
There we go. Koa Pete scored 20 points to lead Arizona over Purdue as the Wildcats advanced to the Final Four for the first time since 2001, RJ.
Say it again. Do you know what I love about Koa Pete? He said it in the interview. As an Arizona boy, this feels a little bit different. He understands. He understands. Shout out Cole Pete.
I love your tie, by the way.
My tie? Yeah.
Tie's working for you.
Yeah.
All right, RJ, how you feeling about the Wildcats?
Honestly, I've never felt better. I think our margin of victory is a little bit lower than what I was expected. I was thinking 18 to 20 throughout the whole bit. I do have a tremendous amount of respect for Michigan. UConn, thank you so much for your gift to America yesterday. I appreciate UConn for that. The Illini, not really worried about them. I beat them a couple of times in school. They don't really fear Arizona. So it's just, I honestly, the boys at Arizona, I'm so proud of them because what people don't understand is there's an inherent pressure. That gap between 01 and 2026, that gap was mounting. It was bigger. Every conversation was about that. So those kids looked at that pressure and they went right through it like it was nothing.
Yeah, no doubt. You hear that for sure. Now, Perk, the producers have told me that you're fired up to talk about this Arizona squad. Why?
I am, and it's not because of building his name after Richard Jefferson down there. It's because I have Beaumont, Texas ties. My best friend, a guy that I live with, grew up with, been knowing for 35 years of my life, and I'm only 41. Damn it, his first time headed to the Final Four as an assistant coach over there.
Welcome
you know
to
what
the
I'm saying?
family.
So it's bear down all day long because people don't understand the value of the coaching staff. They got to make those guys buy in. You got to make a senior like a Walker who was starting last year all of a sudden buy into the system because he was a starter. He could have left in the transfer portal, but you have a guy like Pete that come in and the coaches got to make you accept your role, and all of a sudden it's for the best of the ball club. And so when you see your day one being able to be on that sideline and be a part of greatness, it just brings such joy to my heart. Shout out to Coach Chappelle, man. 409 boys down there, Beaumont, Texas.
Yes, sir. Shout out. All right, listen, that Mullins epic moment got our producers digging in the crates for a special top of the top, most improbable game winners, NBA edition. So let's get right after it. Number 5, Jeff Malone, okay, of the Washington Bullets. Look at this, behind the backboard to beat the Pistons in '84.
Hey, Isaiah trying to call timeout. Why? Look, he's like, timeout. Nah, too late. Game over.
Number 4, another Husky, Jeremy Lamb from beyond half court against Toronto. That almost hit the scoreboard.
I remember that.
Look at Danny. Look, Danny just watch it. I see Danny.
DG.
Danny Green just sitting there like, okay.
Number 3, staying in Toronto, Kawhi, and this Plinko shot to beat the Sixers.
The squad.
No, crazy. Still crazy to watch it.
Game winners in the postseason. Buzzer beaters in the postseason. Where's this rank?
They hit different, man, for sure. Number 2, Celtics Nets.
Is this Devin Harris?
Milt Palacio.
Oh!
Look at Byron.
Yeah, that was the year before I got there, before everything changed. But yeah, I can see.
And number 1.
Oh, damn it! I knew it. Look at this. Shout out, Devin.
Marv Albert on the call there.
Look at that. Andre, what up? Another one of my Arizona brothers, man.
It's from the weekend, and our crazy producer, Demetrius, wants to know why he jumped.
Why?
In this edition, check out what Tyrese Maxey did. He grabs the rebound, takes it the length of the court, and then throws it down on Miles Bridges.
Why'd he jump? Because he didn't have cable growing up. He didn't see it. Oh, that was clean.
Oh, with the left, too.
No, that can catch Andy. That can catch a lot of people.
And he ain't dap him out.
Look at the react, though.
You got to dap him.
Nah, don't dap him.
Come on, Miles.
Don't dap him.
Come on, Miles.
Nah, you don't dap him.
Yeah.
Miles, you don't ever dap him.
All right, so Maxey and the Sixers are a half game out of the 6th spot, trying to make a push in the crowded Eastern Conference standings. Tonight, the Sixers and the Heat meet on Biscayne Boulevard in a game that has big implications for both teams. Sixers-Heat with postseason implications on the line, as I mentioned. And the Sixers trying to avoid that play-in with their big 3 of Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George being active tonight. So, Perk, how much of a threat is Philly at the moment?
Seriously, they might just be the most dangerous team at the bottom of that Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Because if you're a top 3 seed, you're not trying to fade that Heat right there in the first round. I know I'm not. If you're the Knicks, you don't want to see that Heat, not the way that they've been playing. And I'm looking at Tyrese Maxey. He's probably going to be on. He's going to be an All-NBA selection on one of the teams. Joel Embiid got his lift back. I done seen him dunk the ball a few times. And Paul George coming fresh off that suspension like he forgot something. And so when I'm looking at what they're doing, the totality of what they have, well coached by a championship coach, why would you want to fade something like that in the first round? Okay. I know I wouldn't.
All right, fair enough, Perk. We'll see how the Sixers unfold here the rest of the way. But let's get to the Lakers real quick. They'll be without the services of Luka Doncic at home tonight against the Washington Wizards. Luka has been suspended 1 game for receiving his 16th technical foul in Friday's win over the Nets. Doncic will be eligible to return to the lineup tomorrow versus the Cavs. And after missing 6 straight with a right knee issue, Anthony Edwards could be back in Dallas tonight, currently listed as questionable, but trending towards a return at a crucial time for Minnesota. Shifting down the West standings, though, where the Timberwolves are currently sitting in the 5th spot. They await the return of Anthony Edwards, who's missed 6 straight with that knee injury. Minnesota's gone 4-2 in his absence. However, the Timberwolves are coming off a loss Saturday to the Pistons, where they scored only 87 points. So they'll be without Jaden McDaniels as well. He's out due to left knee patella tendinopathy and a bone bruise, which will be listed as week to week at the moment. So, Perk, Minnesota's had some impressive wins versus contenders. They've also had some confusing losses. Do you think Minnesota can flip the switch in the postseason?
I don't know, George. And y'all know how I love Anthony Edwards, but I feel like, well, I know Minnesota is the biggest mystery in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference. I mean, I don't know about this squad. Night in and night out, they're 2 different teams. Once, their emotions are in the way for us, the vets that they have. 1 minute, Rudy Gobert is crying about not getting enough touches. I don't know if Dante, how inconsistent he's been since he got to Minnesota. Is he ever going to get over the trade from the New York Knicks? Julius Randle heard his name in trade rumors, and since the All-Star break, his play has dropped. Chris Finch called out Anthony Edwards, basically telling him he needs to be a better defender.
Yep.
This is the same core group that just went to a conference finals last year. I'm not understanding.
So here's the deal, Perk and the guys here. This team does believe they can flip the switch. I was just there on Wednesday. I had a lot of conversations, and they feel like because they were able to do it the last 2 seasons to get to the Western Conference, they feel that they can do that, Richard. But I don't think I've ever heard that from a team that hasn't won a championship yet.
Well, I think sometimes the flip the switch means that we have another gear that we can go to. We know we're not hitting that gear, whether it's injuries, whether it's Moody, whether it's Grumpy. There's another gear. And I've been on teams that were okay in the regular season, but once they turned it up. Now, flipping the switch for a championship team is very, very different. But championship teams know that that's not something that you would want to count on. You want to count on your consistent behaviors, your consistent approach. So that's where Minnesota can be very confusing because you know they have another gear. You know they have that talent. You don't want to depend on it, but you also don't want to question them too much.
Yeah, at the end of games, it's just every time it's erratic. I don't know where it's going. There's times that I look at them and I love their ball club, but it's like I now start to question things and say, do y'all need to get a point guard? Are y'all the Orlando Magic of the West?
Oh,
that
seems
it does seem
wild.
crazy, but I mean underperforming. Like when I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, I thought they would jump off the paper on the record. They would be we would have totally different conversations.
Right.
And now I'm looking at it like, man, am I really gonna have to sit back and say it's going to be a quick exit?
I will say this: the Jaden McDaniels injury, Perk, is huge. I did that game last week, as I mentioned. Kevin Durant was 3 of 12 against him before he went out with that knee injury. He's a huge part of their success moving forward, potentially.
Oh, I agree. When you talk about one of the best 3 and D guys in the game, right, he's improved offensively, but he's been known for the last 2 or 3 years for locking people up. But again, it's about them losing themselves in the team. And I'm with Shump on this one. I find it a bit disturbing that the Spurs right now this year are ahead of schedule for as their mindset. Then we're supposed to be talking about Minnesota like we talk about the Spurs. And we can't have that same energy. And to be real, it comes from a place of being selfish. Like when you're trying to win a championship, you can't have that selfishness. So when I hear the crying, the bickering, the whining, and all that, that's where it becomes a mystery to me.
RJ's ready. He's got the shades on. That's it.
Hey, listen, man. Next time y'all see me, Arizona's going to be a 2-time national champion.
You heard the man.